Good morning to all. I hope you all are doing well at your home and keeping yourself healthy. I, Ms. Gunjan Daswani from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota, welcome you all to the e-learning classes of English text. And today we are going to do chapter number 6, Brown Wolf. You can open your books to page number 53. So, the writer of Brown Wolf is Jack London. Jack London is an American author and journalist known for his adventure stories. He wrote about life and death. His stories are based on his own experiences at sea in Alaska and in the fields and factories of California. And this story is also of California only, and we are going to study about a dog who came across a couple, and that dog's appearance was like a wolf. So they named him as Wolf. Now what happened? Let's see. So Walt and Madge called him Wolf. So the one couple name were Walt and Madge. So Walt and Madge called him Wolf. He was a timber wolf by his build and coat, but in his color he advertised himself as a dog. I can say his appearance, his outer look was like a wolf, a timber wolf. It's a kind of a wolf, it's a variety of wolf that is found in northern regions of North America. And by his color, his appearance was like a dog. It had been such a task to win his love, as he was very unsociable and had resented all their advances. I can say the couple used to try to win his love again and again, but it was very difficult task for them because he was very unsociable. Unsociable means when you are not liking to meet people, that is unsociable, and had resented all their advances and had disliked all the efforts of trying to be friendly with that wolf. He stayed there as he was tired and famished, but when he had recovered, he simply disappeared. So now what happens is, the reason of staying at their mountain cottage was that he was actually very tired and very hungry, I can say. That is the meaning of famished. But what happened? But when he recovered, he ran away. He simply disappeared from there. But Walt had spotted him along the railway line and brought him back to the cottage. When Walt then attached a metal plate to its neck on which it was written, "Return to Walt Irwin, Glen Ellen, Sonoma County, California." So now what happens is, actually that wolf was about to have an accident, but Walt saved him from that. And what happens is, Walt then what did? He attached a metal plate. I can say dogs are attached with a collar on their neck. So he attached a metal plate over there on which what was written? The address was written. So, "Return to Walt Irwin, Glen Ellen, Sonoma County, California." This was written on the metal plate. The remarkable thing was that every time he fled, he went towards north. Homing instinct was Walt thought about it. So now I can say that whenever that one point to be noted over here, that was that whenever he used to run away from there, he used to run in north direction only. He always went towards north. So reason for that is because these animals and birds have a natural habit. That habit is whenever they used to go back to their origin only. If their origin is in north, they will go towards north only. And if their origin is towards south, they will go towards south only. So this has happened with that dog, which was named as Wolf. After a futile year of many flights, he decided to remain at the cottage, and after a long time, they both finally succeeded in getting close to him. Only they were allowed to touch him. If anyone else tried, they were greeted with an angry growl. No one had heard him bark even once. So I can say after an unsuccessful year of many flights, that's the meaning of futile, that is unsuccessful. So after trying a whole year, whenever he tried, he was unsuccessful in it. So he decided that he will remain at that cottage only. So, and now the couple was also successful in getting his love, and only they were allowed to touch him. If anyone else tried, they were greeted with an angry growl, and no one has ever heard him bark for even once. One morning, when they were walking along the country road with Wolf trailing behind, they saw a man around the turn of a trail. So now what happens is, when they were walking with Wolf, so what happened, they saw a man that was coming into a view of them, and they saw him, the path was there, that is the trail, and that from that path they saw a man coming towards them. The man asked him about his sister's address, who was Mrs. William Johnson. He introduced himself as Skiff Miller. They showed him the correct way. So now what happens is, the man was Skiff Miller, and now who was that man? That's the point. Let's see. So it was at this juncture that Wolf, who had been walking a little away from it, trotted into view. So now what happens is, it was at this particular point of time that Wolf, who used to walk away from people, like we have known that the wolf was unsociable. We said that he don't likes to meet people. So that wolf was coming towards that man. He saw the dog, and a look of great wonder came into his face. So now what happens is, that man also saw the dog, and he was very much surprised to see that dog. Now what happened? Let's see. After hearing his voice, his ears flattened down. He first smelled his hands and then licked them with his tongue. So now I can say that after hearing the man's voice, he reacted, he responded to that voice, because whenever the pets are very much recognizable to some voice, they react, they respond to that voice. So they both never saw him make up to a stranger before. So now the both, Walt, Evan and Madge, they both were surprised to see him responding to the stranger like this. They have never seen him react to a stranger, respond to a stranger like that. Is that what you call him, Wolf? Now this line was said by the man that was Skiff Miller. So he said, do you call him Wolf? So he then lifted one of Wolf's forelegs and noticed that he had not been on trail for long. As you can see in this picture, what he is doing, he just lifted one of his forelegs, and he used to check. He was checking that whether he has gone for sledge, as that dog was a sledge dog. I can say he used to lead the team of dogs which were going on the fields of California. So now just then the dog, squirming and rubbing against the newcomer's legs, opened his mouth and barked. It was the first time he ever barked, Nate said. So now what happens is, just then the dog twisted his body from side, and he rubbed newcomer's legs, that was Skiff Miller's legs, and opened his mouth and barked. Now this was a very surprising moment for both Walt, Irwin and Madge, that because they haven't seen him bark for even once. Madge smiled at him. The man was evidently a humorist. So now Madge reacted that might be that man, that Skiff Miller, was a humorist. Humorist is a person who makes other people laugh. So Skiff Miller looked at her sharply and then said, I thought you understood that he is my dog. His name ain't Wolf, it's Brown. So now what happened is, Skiff Miller now told them that he was his dog and its name was Brown, not Wolf. On this, Walt questioned, how do you know that he's your dog? Now what he said, Walt and Madge were very much surprised that how can he say that he is his dog, he is Skiff Miller's dog, because they were very much surprised, and they were they have an inquiry that whether that person would take away this dog, that dog with him. He replied that he is the owner of Brown, as he obeyed his command and was his lead dog. As I told you, who is the lead dog? Who used to lead the team of sled. So he used to lead the team of dogs. He used to go on sledge. So now what happens is, he said that he is the owner of that dog, and he used to, because he was commanding, whatever he was commanding to him, he was doing that thing. He was obeying his command. That's why he said that he is particularly my dog only. Walt and Madge inquired that whether he is going to take him away. On this he said, I reckon there's nothing in sight to prevent me taking the dog right here, and now I ain't assailing him. So now what happens is, Walt and Madge were having a question in their mind, because they were now very much scared that it might happen that the Skiff Miller will take away that dog. So they asked him about it, and he said, I reckon. Reckon means is I think. There's nothing inside, there's nothing who would stop me to take that dog with me, and I am not going to sell it. Okay, because they said we can buy him if you want, and to that he replied, I am not going to sell it to you. Madge urged, if you really love him, what would make him happy would make you happy too. So now Madge has understood that this man is going to take that dog away from him. So now Madge decided to puzzle that person. So on that she said that if you really love the dog, whatever makes him happy will make you happy too. On this, Miller said, your remarks, ma'am, have some weight in them. So this line means is that ma'am, whatever you are saying have some sense, that is what is right. Then a deal was struck between Skiff Miller and Walt and Madge, that they will let the dog decide if he would stay with Walt and Madge or would go back to its owner, and they decided to play fair. So now a deal was made with them that they will let the dog decide with whom he wanted to stay. So, and they decided to play fair. They will not cheat and they will not console the dog to be with them. When Miller was about to leave, Wolf lifted his head, got to his feet and licked his hand. He repeated this thing again when Miller shook hands with Walt. So now what happens is, at this particular point of time, Miller told them that he will act like he is going, and you will not stop him. You will not stop him if he is coming back to me, and I will also not stop him if he is staying with you. So now Miller was about to leave. When Miller was about to go, then Wolf lifted his head, and what he did, he got to his feet and he was dragging him towards Walt and Madge. It ain't going to be easy, I can tell you that, were the Klondiker's last words. as he turned and went slowly up the trail. I can say the last words when he was leaving, Klondiker said, Klondiker is Skiff Miller only, and Klondiker is a person who is an inhabitant of Klondike region. So that to the inhabitants of Klondike region is Klondikers, and Klondiker was whom? Skiff Miller. As he turned, went and slowly up the and went slowly up the trail. So now what happens is he told them that it's not going to be easy for all of us. For some time Wolf watched him go, but after that he ran towards Miller, caught his hand and strove gently to make him pause. So now what he did is, he first was watching him go, but after that, after some time, he ran towards Skiff Miller and he was dragging him to the back, but nothing happened, because as the deal was struck, they will not go, they will not let the dog console. Okay, now as they were going according to the deal. Failing in this, he ran back to Walt. Owen caught his coat sleeve and tried to drag him after the retreating way, but then they did not move. So now what happens is, now Skiff Miller didn't react, but when he went to Walt Irwin, he also didn't react. He also didn't move. They both didn't move. Walt Irwin and Madge, they both didn't move. Then he made up his mind. His eyes were fixed up the trail. He broke into a trot which turned into a run. He didn't turn his head and was gone. So now at this particular point of time, he has made a decision. He made a decision. Now what was that decision? His eyes were fixed up the trail. He was looking to the path on the path that Skiff Miller was going, from which the Skiff Miller was going. He was watching that path, and now what happens? He broke into a trot. Then he started walking with quick steps, that is broke into a trot, and which converted into a ran, and he ran towards Skiff Miller and didn't look back and was gone. So finally the dog has gone back to its master. So I can say over here that dogs are most loyal. I can say that dogs सबसे ज़्यादा वफादार किसके होते हैं? अपने मास्टर के. Whatever the situation is, wherever they are, वो जहाँ पर भी हो, जैसी भी situation हो, they will come back to their master only, and they are most loyal towards their master. So with this, I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you.